bright as it is, isn't he?
Here comes kayfabe man. Elton John.
Yeah.
You rolling already, Ben?
Yeah, I'm rolling.
So, I'm gonna start singing Carnival
It's not bad. Yeah, set.
Are we letting some of
It's
these
pretty
fucking guys come in here and ask us personal questions?
Of Massachusetts? Oh, you gotta look like Mike Sparta voicemail.
Oh, dude, you don't know about Mike Sparta?
Oh,
Yeah, I work for him.
Conspiracy Horsemen live, Dynasty Infidels.
Do we need the mic up there for this?
Is are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
He just walked out. And
You have to go take a pee break. Ben had to take a pee break. You gotta tell me something professional. Fucking greenhorn.
I take time off.
Jesus, man. I think we're gonna find out.
For that.
I think everybody cusses.
All right, so how many people we have in here? We have
Different.
Abe is in here. Hey, Abe, I gotta send you the
One of the more difficult
PDF and the video. You didn't get back to me about the order, so I'll send you those links to download them.
If the camera's pointing this way, does he see you talking to him?
He said, tell Papa on to chill the fuck out. That's what Abe said.
Bing, bing, bing. Did the bing, bing?
You're
Oh,
out of here. We're doing a show
hit the roads, kid.
with the bricks.
Stop wearing your wife's shirt. Get out of here.
That's the co-GM.
Coaching.
Oh, yeah.
That's I gotta get my shit in.
Yeah, there was no WWE logo on his fucking jacket, so you didn't recognize it.
Oh, tremendous. That's right.
Wait.
The Gravedigger
Here we
unit
go.
in the house.
Somebody smells a fucking promotion going on.
Oh, Bookie Monster.
Mike King just smelled the promotion. What's happening here? What are you guys doing?
Y'all law infidels, that's right. All four of the Conspiracy Horsemen in the house here at Dynasty Pro Wrestling, live for the first time, all in the flesh. We've been on the road all weekend long, doing ghost hunting, giant hunting. Got new content coming for you guys, but it's good to be all four of us in the same spot for the first time, man.
It's amazing.
It is. And hopefully you guys can carry the weight tonight so I don't have to do fuck all.
What else is new?
Well, the good thing is we'd only sit this close at one table on a Twitch live stream. Like we weren't at Tully's and all these other places just cutting up eating. That waiter would have liked it, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sugar tits? No, sugar pants.
be careful.
And what was the other guy we met? Tim from Infinite Universe.
Oh yeah, when we were downtown Camden,
In, Camden,
you guys had a fun. We were heading to the Dollar General for some sports cream. So I left the mark there as well.
That's what he calls
You
KY.
saw the Infinite Universe comic book shop in the middle of Camden. You went in
see
there, you
murder.
knew stuff.
Right after I asked Ben, I said, Ben, do we have a comic book store around here? Nope. Yeah, we gave
Not that I knew of, man. It's all new.
Because you can tell who the fucking cool kid was. Who never went to a game store.
Can you infidels out there hear us all right? We're not mic'd up or anything. You can check the chat room, see what they say, if you wouldn't mind, if there's anybody there. You hear me, morons.
Nod your head
They
if you can hear us.
Are they saying we can hear us?
All right,
I
cool.
bet you they're all nodding their heads.
Everybody's nodding.
Talk about our Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, so Friday, Stevie came in from Georgia. These guys came up from the city, and we're here at Rome and all been. So we went to produce some new content for you guys. You guys have been with us talking with History Channel and Discovery, what they want to do, but we kind of took the ball and ran with it on our own. So we went giant hunting. We were up near Watertown, New York, and Rutland, investigating the Rutland Giant from 1860s. And we went and saw the Cardiff Giant today in Cooperstown. It was a good time at the Farmers Museum there. Thanks to Christina.
Yeah, shout out to Christina.
Yeah,
She's
she was
awesome.
awesome. Million, yeah, Christina Million. If you're in Cooperstown, go check that out. It's a good thing. I mean, Baseball Hall of Fame's there, but they were
That's
really
a nice
cool.
little town, too. Like, quaint little town.
It's a good getaway at Cooperstown. All the
Professor
time.
X got his house up.
And then last night here in Rome, we went to the Capitol Theater where I actually grew up doing a lot of my early performance stuff there, and went on kind of a ghost
back
and
row.
focus on your tap dancing.
Yeah,
That's what
I
Papa
do it
Do's
for
wife
sure.
did.
Yeah.
No, I was laughing at his houses now.
Shuffle ball change. But it was cool, man. We actually had a couple of weird feelings, sounds after we asked some questions that way. They were also very cool and very interesting picture of apparition, I guess. Right?
Stevie's going to put that picture up.
Yeah, it's all going to be in the new stuff. We're going to cut it all together. A lot higher production value than just Twitch stream, but yeah, you guys keep pushing us.
Maybe not much. Don't set the ceiling so high for me.
Right.
What was the first place? What was the place we went to that favored us?
Historical sign.
Yeah, big shout out to the Historical Society, aka Con Man Central. They wanted a donation. They wouldn't let us in the doors. They were hiding something.
$50.
You know what? We want a donation.
It's not $500.
Not $500.
$50. That's fine. So it was like working for Chris Envy for real.
Yeah. It's like
what
Kitty.
are you guys looking for?
It's like 10 Kitty and Gritty fucking
$400.
paydays.
How about 50? Okay, that's fine.
So you're not going to work the workers, so we faved them, got some footage, went across the street to this awesome library, which was like a museum in itself. Yeah. So some very cool footage that way, and
people knitting red scarves, the doorknobs.
Yeah. Some crazy Freemason place. I think you got across the street.
It's Intrepid Broadcast.
Yeah, right next to the Daily
Uncle Nico, you should have seen this place, man. It had huge columns. Yeah, he's got his card right there.
Greeks invented columns.
Right next to the Daily News.
Yeah.
Right, it was in between the bank and the newspaper joint.
Yeah.
How weird is that? At a fucking Freemason
Did you guys
joint?
know that Chris Envy used to work at a sperm bank? He got fired for drinking on the job. Just saying.
I didn't know that. But yeah, man. So that's pretty much what we've been up to. Like in 24 hours, we pretty much covered most of northern and central New York. And some cool happenings. We got a lot of great footage. We just got to chop it up. Stevie's going to do the audio, and we'll bring that to you guys. I'm not sure, maybe on YouTube or maybe
We're thinking
through
about
Twitch
that Patreon model.
Yeah.
We're talking about that, and that seems to be.
So give us all your money.
Yeah, it'll just be small micro payment, but this is the extra stuff we want to start
I'm
doing.
asking for $500.
Just
50, or maybe 50.
But what did you guys think about this weekend so far? As we're here at Dynasty at All Horsemen right now, we're going to wrestle in like 2 or 3 hours in this tournament.
All I can
They
say.
need all air conditioning.
Oh yeah, well that's shit show. All I can say is that if ECW or WCW was around besides WWE and we were on the road together, we would be arrested and fired in a matter of 1 week.
How do you figure that?
Because I don't think we'd be able to. They wouldn't be able to survive all the shenanigans that we did.
He would probably talk it out under the rug, or
He'll
email somebody,
He'll bury
and
us.
it'll all go
He'd
away.
probably just show him this gimbal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
you guys want to check out my gimbal?
Let me tell you, like,
He is the gimbal master.
I'll show you my gimbal.
No one knows how to master the gimbal like Stevie Gimbals over here.
He's nimble and gimbal.
Nimble and gimbal.
Yeah, but you guys have a good time, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
What was your favorite shit this weekend so far?
The one I took in your house. I dropped like 5 pounds.
Yeah, so far I'm gonna say that like the Cardiff Giant was like cool, just to see it, and like that because it's a legit, real thing that was like this whole thing's fake, and all these people still went and saw it.
Yeah,
Like and people are still looking at it today. They're
Like
still,
UFC.
Exactly like UFC. You're gonna hear these later on when Stevie edits this all together. Yeah, like the fact that this thing has been proven fake, 100% fake, and people are still interested in seeing it. They still want to see it.
it was impressive, nonetheless. Just based
totally
on
was, man.
If you takes yourself back to kind of that 1860s era, where you said they were mainly dirt farmers and didn't have much entertainment except watching the corn grow. It would have, and somebody found this shit in a hole. They built this huge giant out of what was it? What type of stone?
Basalt.
Was
No, gypsum.
Gypsum. And
$2,600 worth of gypsum back in 1869, which is like $10 million.
Right. And then they
It's a Stevie
buried it.
Richards
Which is like
payday.
$16 trillion in Vince Russo money.
And then they buried it for a year, like Stevie was in '99. and then
I can't say it because I've never been there. So. That was
and then they had them dig it up, and it became like this huge, news story in like 2 or 3 days across the country. It later be proven a hoax, but that wasn't until they sold tons of tickets and everybody they put it on tour and everything. And P.T. Barnum wanted to buy it for $150,000, and they even turned him down. But like here it was, 1869, and still laid out at this farmers museum. Still people paying to see it, so it's still a draw. 160 years later, pretty much. It was pretty cool.
Like I said, man, P.T. Barnum was the Vince McMahon of 1860s.
Yeah.
You're right.
He knew his shit, and he had heat. Nobody liked it back then.
We looked at it in just the video and then some of the pictures we took. You could see the scale of it. Not even the ones we took straight on. I took some from an angle to the side where you guys were standing beside it, and you really see the scale. And you have to think about people 100 and some years ago weren't as tall and weren't as big, so you can imagine how much bigger this giant looks.
So
that was
about
good.
envy size 100 years ago.
Keep doing that. You're already rebooked. Good job.
Yeah, the thing was that was a hoax, but we were on this other hunt in Watertown because of the Rutland Giant, where another doctor had found it, and they weren't sure if it was a hoax or not, but then there was this judge who later became a Supreme Court judge who wrote the history of that area, and he in detailed, talked about 2 rows of teeth, how tall it was, extra appendages on the feet and hands, which kind of fits the mold of what has been told of the Giants lore. And I'm surprised they didn't really know too much about it.
Or did they?
Yeah, or did they? And they kayfabed us. So it was cool to see one that we knew was a hoax, one that maybe some historians thought was, but we were in that area where it was all going
You know
down.
what's cool, Christine, is like her opinion and her view. The woman who works at the Farmers Museum, she had never heard of any of this stuff before. And that's her profession.
Right.
Like her job is to be a curator, collector, and stuff like that.
Director of collections.
Collection.
Yeah. And she had zero idea about this stuff. So that makes it makes you step back and go, well, we talk about this shit every day. So if somebody would come up to you and be like, oh my God, my dog's an alien, we'd be like, oh, really? Why? And we'd fucking entertain it immediately. We'd be like, oh, seriously, why do you think that? Normal people don't. They don't do this. Like, they don't think about it, they don't talk about
Not
it.
normal people. People who are still asleep mentally.
Yeah, Nancy
Right.
Browns.
Because we're the Nancy Browns and the Jim
But
Smiths,
again,
even the ones the
she
agents.
just didn't, like, it wasn't even like she was sleeping because she's ignoring. It never came
Yeah.
across her desk.
She's
She
a
never
baby
knew.
face, Nancy Brown.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, the thing too is,
You know, find another name for them then.
mid 1800s, whether it was a hoax or this was really going on, and they were finding these giant skeletons. Heat on the Smithsonian, heat on the Vatican. If you want to go back and listen to one of my favorite episodes of our shows,
my
I
absolute
think it was
favorite
October of 2017.
Yeah.
Tim Alberino from Gen 6 Productions works with Steve Quayle, awesome documentary filmmakers, where they went to Sardinia, interviewed a lot of old-time farmers who were finding these giant skulls in Land of Giants, and right where we are in central New York, pretty close to where in western New York, in Ontario region, where supposedly hundreds of giant skeletons have been found, taken, and then just erased from history. So just the fact that we're kind of in the vicinity where something may have happened, to research the folklore with the 4 of us getting together, and then to show what was a work. Because even though the carved giant is a work by that guy, it still pushes the narrative of people were fucking aware of other giants being found at that time.
Carving? What's
Right,
your reference? What's your reference on that?
Right.
You didn't just carve a giant out of
Why
nowhere.
would you do a giant? Not like
It
a
did
goblin
resemble the
or-
redheaded
right,
one
or
that you
mummy.
talk about in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
It looked a lot more Viking-ish.
And that's,
Yes.
that's what he said. And this one, this guy was clean shaven. He looked like a classic Greek sculpture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the clean face, the pretty baby face. He had the figure, but he wasn't, muscular like the other figures were.
Right.
But he had that, everything was just enlarged human proportions, as opposed to the other stuff that we've heard about, the big hairy beards and the row of teeth and the
And
elongated
it was pretty
heads.
proportionate except for the head, which was, the stories told us when they find these giant skulls, like you can actually put it over
Right, like it's a helmet.
a helmet, or the jawbone would go around a normal human's face that way. So it seems like they must have had some point of reference to go off of to fake that,
What do
to
you
make
think
that
there's kind
hoax.
of mini kind of predictive programming in The Hobbit? Because they have that tall creature,
Yeah.
the giant, even though they're small, it could be construed as that.
But it was pretty cool, man. I liked it. That was probably my
So we
favorite.
basically thought this was going to be a complete struggle in the first 8 hours.
Yeah.
Because the first one we got shut out. We filmed footage, so that'll be coming up.
And Ben,
But then-
Ben actually contacted them, and they said, "Yeah, come on down, come
Oh,
check
yeah,
it
that was
out."
the worst rib ever.
Yeah,
Like,
good
come
rib.
down,
Told us to come.
unless they just assumed we wouldn't, and then we showed up.
Yeah.
So,
shit,
but
yeah.
that night, your go-to person at the Capitol Theater, you were almost not disappointed. You're like, oh, this guy is a character, and he's going to tell the story, and it's going to be awesome. And it actually even worked out better with this girl Julie.
Yeah,
who
shout out to Julie. She was awesome.
amazing. She let us, not only did she
very cool.
talk to us about stuff, but she was a good catalog. Well, she was a good devil's advocate. She hadn't experienced anything there, but she literally let us explore everywhere from the bottom floor up to the top, the projection room, sit, get EVP sessions, which we got something. We got responses. We got temperature spikes, temperature drops.
Brother, we're so over. We even get over with the dead. We got to pop from the
Well,
dead.
I'll tell you too that the stuff that Sal experienced in the same exact spot we were at just minutes before in the projection room, was completely
Day and night.
different.
Yeah.
Again, I was discussing that this morning. I can't explain that. And I was explaining away something else that happened. My friend Chuck heard a noise. It was the same time that I'm assuming I was shutting the door of the projection room. So I'm like, so that noise he heard was me, and I'm kind of blowing it off, and I'm like, and then I'm like, but I can't explain the temperature jump.
Yeah.
You know, where you guys are like, oh, it's 73 degrees. I'm like, no, dude, there was hot air. Like, it's like opening that door, and you feel the hot air. There was hot air blowing out of the projection room. You guys are like, no, it's 2 air conditioners. I'm like, dude, I was just up there.
But we got footage of us saying we didn't feel anything and it wasn't even cold. It was like, oh, it's actually fine up here, right?
Yeah.
We didn't say it's freezing, even with the air conditioning. But then when we were down in the upper part of the thing, it was cold.
Yeah,
and then we went down to a different part. There was a heavy atmosphere. It wasn't even like it was. It wasn't even like it was cold.
And only
It just
like
felt-
20 feet difference where there wasn't like a big drop, and if hot air rises, it shouldn't have been there. So in certain parts up top where there is no air conditioning around us, we were getting like definite.
You're sweating, Stevie's freezing. Like, it was,
Me and Demetrius were 2 feet from each other. He's hot and I'm freezing.
in the spot right where, and that was the biggest thing is when you guys see this picture, it's gonna shake you up because people easily, as workers, like Photoshop. But this girl was a non-believer,
and she had no
anything-
dog in the fight.
and she was just like, oh yeah, and this is what was captured 14 years ago by a projectionist. It shows us the picture, and it's pretty damn real. And if you're ever in upstate New York, Rome area, one of the things that it's known for is Fort Stanwix, a Revolutionary War fort. And this guy didn't look like your theater goer. Like the ghost, you can kind of see through him and see half of him. He looks kind of Ben Franklin-ish, like the way he's dressed and
Well,
whatnot.
military uniform, like he was somebody like.
And the theater's only about not even 1,500 feet or 1,500 yards from this Revolutionary War fort. So whether or not it's somebody who died in the theater, this could be some type of apparition that's been there for a long time, just in there.
There's a girl too.
and then,
Ben, the thing with the fort though, where the fort is,
It's done.
that's not where the
Different
original
spot.
fort was.
They rebuilt
Actually,
it.
the fort was actually down here, near the Capitol Theater.
Oh, it's
actually.
down even closer?
It's down even closer, yeah.
Okay.
just tell everybody we're hanging with.
Yeah, we're here with Triple D,
Triple D.
from Dippin' Donuts. We had a good time this morning. Great breakfast there. If
Can
you're
I,
in
can I,
Rome,
can
go
I,
to
can I
Dippin'
say
Donuts.
something? Even though we went to the giant that was fake, just like Dunkin' Donuts ingredients, they're all fake.
Oh man.
Dippin' Donuts actually use all natural
I was at
ingredients, and
Dippin'
they're actually
Donuts,
great
finally.
food. So Dippin' Donuts is the way to go.
Finally got the
Make sure that check clears, Dimitri.
Always.
Yeah, it was great breakfast this morning with a few
We
of
helped an old lady
out there.
cross the street on the way here too.
Did you really?
It's like his Boy Scout outfit.
This guy,
Oh,
Did you get your badges?
he took off his,
He took off his badge.
No, he didn't have to deliver the mailman in his mailman
He
shorts.
took his mailman shorts off to get his Boy Scout shit on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out and get changed. You guys are
Listen,
listening to
don't let Sal Boom mess you up. Okay?
Dippin' Donuts, you guys, best in Central New York, New Hartford, 2 locations in Rome. If you're a foodie and you're coming through on the wine trail, whatever it is, you
Please
gotta stop
stop
by
over.
and see our guy, man, right here. He's gonna hook it up. Tell him Conspiracy Horsemen sent you. You know you're gonna get something extra.
And just as a little aside, and I'm not saying this counts for anything, but there is not an unattractive person working the counter ever.
Yeah, very sure.
So apparently Dimitri is in charge of hiring.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not. My mother is.
Shout out to mom. Shout out to mom.
Yeah,
Sure you do.
Mom knows.
Don't go there.
I know, Stevie, that was probably your, last night is, different Stevie Richards, last night when some things started happening, you could see him kinda, that ponytail started to come up the back of his head a little bit more. So, he was way into it. You guys will see that on the footage. I think we got some awesome stuff. It's gonna take us a little time to cut it together, but kind of as a rocky start up in Watertown with that to where we were last night, and then today, things just really were pretty cool. So
I think from an editing standpoint, there might be some voiceover. There's going to be B-roll for sure, but I think we are just going to let the content speak for itself and keep it out it is. And there's going to be full versions unedited with our investigation at Capitol Theater, and also especially the interview today at the Farmers Museum will be full unedited versions. We'll figure out a way to distribute that stuff, but I like to edit. We're going to put it
We could
together.
probably even do a gag reel too, the bloopers and all that stuff.
Behind the scenes,
Behind
we're
the
going to have the behind the scenes.
So our
thing.
gag reel is gonna be I I didn't say it.
Imagine if we started doing it now. Like, would you freak out? I mean, would you just like,
I'm begging us to switch to Google Hangouts.
But I know you guys were with us this week for the gender-neutral mailbag. We just had so much mail from you guys to get through.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah,
yeah,
appreciate
keep
it.
it up. No matter what anybody
Horsemen.
says, keep up the email.
Yeah, conspiracyhorsemen@gmail.com. If you can keep them under 3 fucking pages, I would appreciate it.
Yes, Hans.
Yeah.
Fucking Mark Twain over here.
Fucking novel, James Clavell.
Leave that out. We call it a mystery, my friend.
But I'm glad you guys like, we did what we do, Space Force this week, new 9/11 evidence, new Las Vegas shooting evidence.
So it wasn't just emails. We did the first. We always
started
Yeah,
again.
oh, we almost did.
it's like crowbar now.
Oh, stop it. Now, you want to take some Q&A from the people in the room?
If you want
They
to.
read the questions.
Yeah, see if there's any. You guys got any questions for us?
We can't let Ben read it. He'll fuck it up.
Oh, that's terrible.
Not as bad as your shorts, but it's okay.
Oh, he does.
Oh, nope. So far, no questions. No one's asking any
Really?
questions.
Alright, we suck.
Is there people in the chat room or no?
Yeah, there's
Who's in?
Apash is in there. I'll tell you.
Apash, Bing Biscuit,
Bing Biscuit?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Dude Bud 6969, Domino 815, who
of
called me out because I didn't send Russo donuts yet.
Hey, I actually stole a bag of coffee
Okay.
and a cup this morning.
Cool.
So it's done.
All right, and Paul Arzola, the man who does all the history,
Nice.
which is awesome.
What do you
He's
guys
here.
want to know about, man? You got all 4 of the Horsemen in one spot, not just on Skype, waiting for it to happen.
I know, yeah. Come on, guys, ask some questions.
Conspiracyhorsemen@gmail.com. Mailbag's cut up, so if you guys got something new to send us. He's been pretty much on the newswire, putting things through. One thing I wanted to say, you guys.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been posting about it, but from all of us, we got the news. Matt Capitelli, OVW, passed away. So I had a pretty fair amount of time with him when he was going through his first bout of brain cancer there. And, the last couple of months, quality of life just probably wasn't there. And his wife was, just such a salty trooper sticking by him and letting everybody know what was going on. Not to say I'm happy he's gone, but I'm glad he's resting finally after everything he went through. And shout out to all my OVW family and everybody in the industry, all the brothers and sisters who knew Matt. No one's ever going to say anything bad about him, not just the fact that he's gone now, but always an inspirational, happy dude. Could rib with the best of them, but never with big league or anything like that, man. Always a consummate professional and babyface. So definitely think about Matt Capitelli this weekend while we do all this, you guys.
We got some questions, actually.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right, we got a question from Apash, the first one. Is Jeff Lane coming to the show?
No, this is like 2 hours from Jeff Lane, so if he won't come to UPW when I'm in his
Still
backyard,
in
he
the
won't
business.
come.
In the business, what's 2 hours?
Who's Jeff Lane? Is that Russell
Vince
Ford?
Vince's
He's probably
calls.
begging for video games, so he's not going to be here. Don't worry about it.
Well, troll him, man. Jeff Lane 22 on
Yep.
Twitter. Say, I can't believe you're not at All Bin today.
Okay, another one. Has anyone seen from Domino 815? Has anyone seen Sasquatch today?
Yes.
Yes, we've had Sasquatch sightings.
There has been Sasquatch sightings, but now there's also a Dropness monster.
Ah,
So it's also known as the Hot Mess monster. So we have Sasquatch and Dropness.
There are a lot of
Cryptids.
shit cryptids here
okay.
at Dynasty.
I got another now. Lone Wolf, GAM,
Yeah.
Greg Moron, the man. What is your favorite conspiracy podcast that's not from Hami Media?
It's tough, man.
That's a good question.
It's a very good question. But we don't listen to the conspiracy podcast.
Well, I would say Be Told is one of my favorites.
Like
Those are the
Truth Be Told,
guys.
yeah.
A lot of Eddie Church stuff and
Things we watch that aren't really podcasts. We're usually trading videos. We like SGT Report, Richie from Boston, Disclose. Who else? Are we usually
There's
passing?
no agenda with Adam Curry and John C. Dvorak. They deconstruct a lot of stuff too. It's not necessarily conspiracy stuff, but they deconstruct a lot of
Woodward
mainstream
TV
media.
is good.
And obviously our boy Jacob Israel.
Jacob Israel is
right
one
on
of the
cut
best.
that way. So
Podcast wise, man, even stuff they don't want you to know is kind of just like narrative.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Truth.
They're in
Like,
Atlanta,
the
too,
Truth Be
right?
Told is the podcast I started listening to, and they're the ones where I got smart enough to that on Stellar and all that sort of stuff. So
We like Gaia stuff too. When
Yeah.
Disclose came out with Corey Good,
was
talking
thinking
about
something.
Space Force. What was that? 5 years ago that dropped, pretty
Yeah.
much before
Yeah.
any of that. So if you haven't checked in those disclosed, it's Corey Good and David Wilcox, and then there's like it's a pay service on Gaia GA.
well, not to be a shill for them, but I get shit from them now. They're doing a sale for you buy 1 month, you get a month free for Gaia.
It's worth it just to
totally
see
worth it for
disclosure.
$9.
What did you become a citizen of?
Asgardian.
Asgardian.
Aren't you running for president?
Yeah, I'm running. I forgot I was running for office.
Yes, I am signed up. I'm a citizen of Asgardia.
Citizen of Asgardia. That's the new basically Federation of Planets.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a pretty neat
Space
site.
Kingdom.
Space Kingdom.
Oh, by the way, I read today, and hopefully it's true because it'd be a good move. Trump is going to get George Tsoukalos from Ancient Aliens to be the secretary of Space Force. So you know when Space Force is in a Greek person's hands, it's in great care.
Is that a shoot he's really gonna?
I don't know if it's real, but never let the truth get in the Fed way of it.
Here's the weird thing. You figure somebody like, who bragged for 20, 25 years, like Greer. Dr. Greer has been sitting and briefing presidents forever. You don't think we're gonna call it bullshit when we call it bullshit. If he was the man that had the inside track, unless he's gonna come out and say, I'm the kayfabe one.
Right,
This
right.
guy's on there, but there's also a secret part to that. I think if that really does happen, Greer's gonna
honest.
have to backpedal.
Yeah, I was hot because when I was looking at the shit for Giants in this area, he put Cayuga, New York, and Dunville, New York, and I was like, "Fuck, we're so close to Cayuga," and they found 200 giant skeletons. So even on Greer's site, it's Cayuga, Ontario, and there's no Dunville, New York. There's Dunville, Ontario, on the Grand River bank. So I was already finding discrepancies in Greer's
Sasquatch
work.
did,
Yeah,
big
he
time.
did.
Like I would have figured Trump would have maybe got Professor Kaku. Because he'd have been he's my first choice. I'm gonna make a Space Force. It's you, Kaku, man, right there.
You might be driving the ship like
You know what else would have been good as the former Ministry of Defense of Canada?
Paul Hellyer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been
Yeah.
like,
As long as you don't have to give him
Oh,
all the
yeah.
Oh. Ha! I see what you did there, bro. Any more?
Yeah, we got some more. Yeah.
Would have been fucking nuts.
Listen, I'm letting you guys go, man. So we got one from Bang Biscuit. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yes, so
See?
I got two actually. I'm sorry, I botched the spot there. Any thoughts on the Capitol newspaper shooting? And of course, a drill a week prior.
Yeah,
So
Not
there you
even
go.
a week prior, it was scheduled for yesterday.
And they're telling everybody that.
Yeah.
That's already common
Yeah,
sense.
but the newspaper was the one that broke kayfabe, saying that they were going to have a drill, and then the shooting happened there. Correct?
Yeah, so the official story in the first 36 hours is that this guy was stooged off by the paper for something he did when he was getting arrested, so he had heat with him that way. And that's why he came down disgruntled, but of course he's a federal employee too, so easily in the program right away, whether it's MK Ultra or what have you.
You mean federal government, not FedEx, like Dimitri
No,
Schwartz.
no.
Oh my God, come on.
2 by 5. So discrepancies in that, and obviously everything we've seen false flag wise as having laid out through Boston bombing, 9/11, Sandy Hook, where else?
Vegas.
Vegas. That they've had these active shooter drills within a week to 2 weeks. 9/11 was 6 weeks ahead of time, but seems like they've closed that in. But the script is still the same.
9/11 happened at the same time.
Well, they had the
FEMA was there.
The FEMA
The
drill,
drills were happening for weeks.
like-
Then even Texas, and then even Parkland, they were saying that they already announced the shooting, that they were doing a drill.
Well, here's the weird part. They probably thought, well, maybe we'll just do the opposite and say the drill was after the shooting, so that way we looked like we really need to be prepared.
thought it was smart
I think they thought they were, but still the same deal. What's the odds?
Yeah.
And it all has to be in place. We talked to, I talked to James Fetzer with Billy Ray Valentine on this, and we talked to Wolfgang Helbig. You got catering, emergency services. Look at Sandy Hook, the friggin' porta potties were there lined up beforehand. And that was another thing too that came out this week was Wolfgang Helbig, new evidence on Sandy Hook, where he has Dean's Dairy. saying that they were doing deliveries 3 months for Sandy Hook Elementary School to this middle school that had been closed, and that there were nothing going to Sandy Hook at that time. So, you know, just in the paperwork alone of logistics, they can't cover this kind of shit up, and it's coming back to bite them. Look at the lawsuits even. Who do they sue? Wolfgang Helbig and Alex Jones. They didn't sue the state of Connecticut. They didn't sue the town of Sandy Hook. They didn't sue the school
And
system.
the father who was suing disappeared because he doesn't exist.
Not even his real name, Noah Posner. So
No kid. The kid that got shot
yeah,
is somebody else's kid who's still alive.
yeah.
So like that, but people have just blown it off and they give that up. They're like, oh well, it's not important. It kind of is.
Yeah,
That's the
What was
main
the guest
narrative.
that we brought on, that we got?
Right.
That we talked about false flags. What was his name? Oligarch?
Oleg Damagard.
Oleg Demigod. Where's this capital newspaper place again? Is it where?
It's Annapolis.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Maryland.
He said
Where's
Washington D.C.
That's where I was going with
He
you.
said D.C. was
He
going to be the
said
next
DC.
big attack.
That's a good point,
So
man.
there you go.
That's a good point. So definitely, if you guys, those are great questions
And
about.
I got.
just to tie this back to the Cardiff Giant gimmick. So this was 1869, and they still couldn't cover paperwork because that's how they found out it was bullshit. Because somebody had sent the paperwork for the billing for this piece of gypsum that gets sent to Ohio to be carved. So that paperwork in 1869 got exposed. How are they going to expose this shit of like a school shooting?
Yeah.
So
And there should have been 600 kids at Sandy Hook.
Right.
You see 80 get marched out and do the same thing. They do the lap around the.
yeah, you see them going to the back of the school.
Yeah, and just things that are closed and things that would have been fire hazards. You know, we've
mold.
covered all this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
all the mold, the water lines, all the damage that would have been corrected and gone if kids were there, because parents would be complaining.
I don't know, I was just freaked out.
Freaking me out over here.
But
Well, is it really a big event anymore? No, I'm saying, the
Yeah.
shooting's already, it's happening.
It's not a big
happening.
event anymore, 'cause people
I'm
have
so
moved on.
afraid, I'm so afraid now that they're gonna say, this is not working, this is not working. They're really trying everything they can, short of the dirty bomb / nuclear bullshit.
Yeah.
Because that will be the only thing that really scares everybody in a permanent way.
right, that's another massive shock and awe campaign, which is MK Ultra, trauma-based mind control of the masses. I mean, what other? The only thing a dirty bomb wouldn't accomplish is the fear of gun laws, which is what is at the root of all of these shootings to
Bump stocks.
drive that.
Bump
yeah.
stocks.
No,
AR-15s.
but I give you a different point of view. What it does is it gives control, because you can institute martial law a lot
Right,
easier when
right.
a dirty bomb goes off, and then you say it's spread over. Dude, you can make it up and say they're lying about Fukushima not spreading all the way over, but this dirty bomb, if it ever hit, will spread 3,000 miles.
Oh, yeah,
You see what I mean? The difference between
Butterfly effect, man.
Maybe we need to check in with Oleg Damagard maybe in the next week or two again to see after this starts to pan out of what's going on. What else you got, D?
We got another question from Smokey Baker. I like that name. Would you?
No one asked. Read the question.
No.
Wow,
Wow.
it's your boy.
Wow.
Your boy.
I'm kidding.
So you like things that are smoky now?
Your boy.
He smokes sausages.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Not
No,
that
the
he has
baker.
wrong.
Baker. I like the baker because you
No,
know
I was talking about
baker
the egg
make
sandwiches, the
donuts.
smoked
you know?
sausages.
he hasn't had this much sex since he was a Boy Scout leader.
Oh. All right. Here's the question.
You never saw Naked Gun?
Is that Troop 999?
You saw a lot of naked guns.
Would you guys ever go to Lake Champlain and do an investigation on
I will go
Champ?
swimming in that bitch.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Horsemen
what,
is scared of nobody.
that's kind of what we're hoping with, Discovery, History Channel. It's kind of a little bit crazy what they want. First time we talked about, they want us to go to New Mexico for Lost City of Gold. But we're really into what we haven't really covered these in the show, but there's supposedly caves in
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon filled with Egyptian relics that were supposedly found in the 40s, and then just kind of no one went back again to claim them. There's plenty more there. Yosemite, I think we talked about, where there's
Lot of shit going on
vortexes
in
and
Yosemite.
people missing in Yosemite. A lot of like strange
There's
disappearances.
crypto sightings in Yosemite. There's anything on the list of paranormal or weird happens at Yosemite and people just ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 411 stuff, right? The
Missing
411.
411.
Missing 411 happened there.
It's all
Actually-
national
actually,
parks, so that would make
I
sense.
got a question. Speaking of vortex and speaking of, I guess I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard it like a while back that the Oriskany battlefield, which is
Yeah, I was telling them.
5 minutes away from my house, is supposedly that's a vortex there.
And in Schenectady too, I think it was actually Envy who might have sent it to me. There's a cemetery that they're calling the gate to hell, where they even have cops because so many people wanted to go in and check it out. There's it's a very old cemetery with gargoyles and angels, statues that they made, and then the heads will be off like that, and not
For the
like
people or the statues?
the statues, and it looks like a clean, like if you were to take a katana or something, and go right through some serious stone, and they have no explanation.
Where is this again?
Schenectady, New York. It's about 2 hours from here.
We share one.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we should
Next
apply for permits to
Down
go.
near Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Also, I just random, we were driving, and listened to a podcast about, they cover all kinds of paranormal stuff. There's a place in Canada, it's a valley. It's real cold outside, you get into the valley, and it's 30 degrees hotter in the valley because of sulfur springs and all these other things. Every explorer and people who've gone since back in the day have been decapitated.
Really?
Yeah, and people will not live
You
there,
go
they won't
first.
go there.
Duck one gimbal. We're all good, buddy. It's all right.
Yeah. Talk one gimbal.
Damn.
All right, what else?
I think, do we find any clues yet on the Annapolis situation from Pash? I think maybe you guys might have covered that a little
clues
bit.
wise, what was weird is if they're talking a shooting, what kind of gun would you expect it to be?
AR-15.
AR-15.
Anything
that's
with
the
a bump
narrative.
stock.
But this was shotgun was the first thing.
So it just passed
So
right
maybe they're moved well. Maybe they've done enough damage because supposedly in most states you can go and get a shotgun at like age 16 at Walmart, even, right? With no real waiting period.
Yep.
So now maybe they're just transitioning to like, we did enough damage on the AR-15, let's start switching so we can even go down the level a little bit more, any long gun, anything like that. So they can raise the age to 20 whatever and background check so they can get it all under one umbrella of like, you have to have insurance, psychological evaluation, the whole nine as
That's
it
just
goes forward.
Far Cry 101, you start with your shotgun and start moving up.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to kill with a shotgun before you can move to a semi-automatic.
Exactly, before you go to the semi-automatic and your sniper rifle.
So I think, we'll see what else evidence-wise, or does this guy have a real reason, or does it fit the narrative of, if there's a drill going on, we talked about the FEMA capstones with Wolfgang Halbig, and how that was all written into Sandy Hook. I think that's really what it is how Wolfgang looks at things and breaks it down logistically. That's the best way to do it. So if you guys see anything, at Greek God Papadon, at Ben_Armin, at BWO Stevie, at Dead No Save.
Oh yeah, shout out to Larry Egner too, who's been dropping a lot of gems.
Larry
for us.
Big time.
Yeah, he does not drop fluff. Everything he drops is something big, man.
Yeah, so pretty hardcore stuff, and like I said, we want to keep going on to the fun ones like Yosemite
The
Disadvantages.
Ghost one last night was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good break.
But every 6 weeks is another false flag shooting, possibly.
I got another question from Bang Biscuit.
Bang biscuit.
How come there hasn't been as much attention on the newspaper shooting as there has been about school ones? Is it because kids getting shot drives the narrative better?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think
trauma.
they know what to do with the shotgun thing, like Ben said, if it was AR-15 or something that was involved like that, they would probably have experts on 18 hours a day talking about it, but they don't know how to handle a shotgun right now.
Wait, I got a quick question, and this just popped into my head, so I don't want to lose it because of the CTE. Which came out first?
Chicken.
Thank you. The shooting at the newspaper place, or the Democratic Hillary Clinton person and the guy who was running the fundraiser for kids getting
dude.
busted for pedophilia?
Dude getting busted first.
Yeah, this came after that.
Pedophilia.
So there's your misdirection spot.
There you go.
Every time someone in the DNC party or someone high on the food chain gets busted for pedophilia or whatever the case may be, there's always some kind of
Jump up,
shooting
look
or some
over
kind
here.
of misdirection
And the
spot.
thing was, and this is just gonna show you when my wife comes to me and tells me about the shooting because I was at work, I didn't get a chance. She told me about it. Then she goes, and there was a drill. And I'm like, oh fuck! If you know about a drill, she doesn't she's mainstream. She watches mainstream media. So if she knows about a drill, then they've already thrown
They're
that shit
trying
out.
to normalize it.
Yeah. They've thrown that
Here's
shit
one
out.
thing that we looked at. What was the article that was in the Santa Monica paper? Remember we tried to look at, like it was a whole anti-gun narrative in the false flag shooting, and then we looked into the writer of it, and
And he didn't exist.
no existence whatsoever. So
He was a writer, but had no other credentials.
right. In Annapolis shooting here, they named people who were killed, who worked at the paper. put it on you guys, because we gotta kick some ass here in a little while. Look those names up, and then try and find me, or find all of us, their social media, where else they are, or all these fictional characters
Yeah.
who
I bet you
were-
find
fit-
nothing.
fit a narrative,
Or
you know?
one follower, a guy who existed since Friday.
The egg.
Yeah.
Was there the timestamp on a Facebook story and a donation thing before the actual news story even
Oh,
broke? We've
that's a
seen
big
that
deal.
before, right?
The
Oh, wow.
GoFundMe's and the fundraisers are up and running the day before the event,
Day
the
before.
exact event.
They were created
Sandy
the day
Hook was
before.
that?
Go ahead, Pop.
One question I have, it interests me that each and every mass shooting has a previous FBI investigation or Secret Service investigation
Right.
attached to it.
Look at this
Nobody-
kid in Parkland.
Okay,
Yeah, nobody's blaming the FBI or calling for a huge investigation in the way their policies and procedures are. And what are they protecting us from? If you're taking our freedom for the sake of safety, that proves it right there. They're not any safer. You visited that kid in Parkland 37, 39 times.
Yeah.
And you didn't even try to bring them in. You didn't try to put them away for a little bit.
I think they're using all that stuff as their screening process to find the perfect patsy to pull off the narrative, and that's basically
And then,
it.
because I haven't heard anything. The kid from Parkland, has anything come out of it?
No, I mean, that's the thing. Who do you know about from Parkland? David fucking Hogue, who's
Yeah.
on a tour right now with armed guards talking
kid
about
no-
no guns and
Is this
shit,
kid in a
right?
hole now that you'll never see him again?
Well, this
or-
is go back to South Florida temperature and the kid and how in the hell he supposedly pulled this off.
Armor and all the other shit without sweating.
Yeah, all day. He took an Uber.
Yeah.
With fully fucking armed.
Fully
Yeah,
armored,
that's-
gimmicked, wearing clothes the whole
The
thing.
only guy who carried guns in Ubers is this guy when he takes an Uber and he doesn't wear any sleeves. That's the only time you can bring guns into an
He's
Uber.
got to pay for 2 other cars to go with him.
That's a compliment, that wasn't an insult.
I heard you appointed him though.
No,
You weren't like that.
Big, yeah, he's,
I'm sorry, Stevie.
Thank you.
What the fuck?
Ab Pash is, he didn't ask any questions, but he's just saying that, you know, you guys should, he said you guys are more than welcome to come to California
Buy us
And-
the tickets.
and go explore what's cracking with the food in the agricultural fields.
Yeah.
the poison
Obviously-
through the American system.
Yeah, slow kill, obviously Monsanto. If you guys want us out there, I know MH Freedom, a huge supporter of what we do, Mikey Hawes.
Shout out to him.
Hit him up, man. He runs promotions out there. If you got a promotion,
to 5
we'd
restaurants.
love to come out there and do this for you guys too. This is what we want to do: is be on tour, to have open Q&As and talk what we're talking about instead of, you know, it's great with Twitch .tv/Conspiracy Horsemen to bring us all together, but to do it in the open, in a real open discourse and dialogue, is even more important instead of being separated and protected. That's why this, with the 4 of us today, is an important day for us. So we appreciate Dynasty bringing us all together, Dippin' Donuts bringing us all together.
And just in case there's an explosion at the arena, there's no fucking pyro here. Envy's too cheap for pyro, so somebody blew us up.
You know, or it's
And none of us are suicidal.
Oh, man, you're right.
We're all happy.
he's still scared.
My
of
life,
ghosts.
my life,
We're not
I'm
gonna
still
die.
scared.
Oh.
We're not gonna hang ourselves off a doorknob.
We're gonna live.
How about that, you guys?
We're gonna live.
We did Anthony Bourdain stuff, right? And now what do? They cremated his fucking body before
Yeah, you'll never know what
the
happens.
family said don't do it, and
You'll
they
never
did
know
it.
what drugs were in his system, what he was drinking, was he drunk? You don't know any of it.
That
Anthony
just
Bourdain.
means, that
Because
just
you mentioned
means
the name
something
Hillary
right there.
Clinton the night before he died.
Well,
You were
Yeah,
telling me.
and he was
telling
telling me he was
they were
going at him
gonna-
hard.
They were gonna
Yeah.
whack the girl too.
Yeah, they were gonna get Asia too, and she decided she couldn't make it, something happened.
Because it can, she did the big stooge on everybody that was there too. Like, you motherfuckers might be clapping, but some of you are about to fall in this room too. So,
When was that?
they can.
Wow.
And then,
No,
and then
before.
they're blaming
Oh.
Yeah.
They're blaming the Italian photographer who released a picture of her and some guy on the red carpet. She was banging some other dude.
Yeah.
So they're saying Anthony Bourdain was so heartbroken by this. He was so
Bullshit, dude.
he loved her so much. But this is the thing: they put that out and normalized all of it.
Yeah.
And then even the photographer came out and said, "I'm so sorry, I released that because I cost that man his life."
That's
he
like-
said that. The
Well,
fucking
that's just-
photographer
it was
took
in the
it.
script.
That's
He
him
took
being-
it.
No, that's him being, the people wanna be marks for themselves and make it all about them. He thinks
Yeah.
that
Show up in a
it's
wrestling
not
company.
important that he had
Yeah,
something to do
he
with
took it, and then everybody said, "No, it's not your fault, brother." And he's like, "No," he goes, "I feel like I cost a life."
First of all, he has 2 ex-wives, right?
Right.
But it's,
Secondly, he overcame his heroin addiction.
Right.
Not weed, not fucking coke.
That's what I'm saying.
Heroin, one of the hardest things to overcome.
This is what I'm saying.
He's
The
gonna be
fact
heartbroken that some
they,
rat
they,
cheated
they
on him?
can't ever check because, oh, he's depressed, he was drunk. Or any of those would make it a little bit easier to swallow, and they just fucking got
Well,
rid
that's
of
for
it all.
Nancy Brown's. Oh, he loved her so
Yeah,
much.
he was
Da, da,
so
da.
distraught that he
Meanwhile,
hung
they
himself.
got-
A 7-foot-tall Gork hung himself from a 4-foot fucking knob. Ridiculous.
A guy in Brazil is one of the most disciplined martial arts out
Yeah,
there
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
So he has a mental, emotional, and spiritual discipline to get through anything. And he didn't have that when he overcame heroin. So he's even stronger than he
now.
was. Did he really think?
Not for nothing.
Did he really think by looking at this girl who's what, 20, 30 years younger than him? That it's like,
But apparently they had open, they can do whatever they
Well, that
want.
makes
and
even- yeah,
Right,
there you
it makes
go.
it even less believable.
Right.
So many holes in the official narrative.
I thought you were
It's,
gonna say an Asia Argento.
no.
Just a 3, brother, like everybody else.
do you think, let's speculate a little bit. Do you think she was that much of a heel that they were gonna take them both out? Or do you think what she said, she was almost being the baby face that she was gonna expose, and they were like, we gotta
I
shut
think
this
she
down?
did expose, and the shots he fired at both Trump and Hillary Clinton camp, enemies on, well, you could say they were both on the same side, you know, the fence, but on either side,
That's, I think
who's
what
got
she
your back
did-
at that point?
She did the short girlfriend move. That guy said something to me, so he pulled up and went off on everybody,
Yeah,
and then he got his ass kicked.
yep.
You know, that's why it's the short girlfriend. You
And
know,
it's, this is similar to Chris
had looking at
Cornell,
me?
similar to, what's
Chester
it?
Bennington?
Chester Bennington, who, you know,
I remember something, I know.
Chet Bennington.
you know,
Robin Williams?
and they fucked up there because they were allowed to do the autopsy on Bennington, and they found he's got blunt force head trauma, broken ribs.
Yeah.
Like, now you're gonna fuck around with Anthony Bourdain, a dude who does Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like, you know, like, it's gonna be a little bit tougher fight than the dude from Lincoln Park this time, so who knows how fucked up he was internally and what they would have found, so they gotta cremate him.
Also, the sister to one of the royal families in the Nordic countries, whether it's
Yeah,
Finland,
Queen Princess Elizabeth.
she went too with a doorknob and a red scarf.
Really?
Same week, yeah. I'm
Lots
telling you, it's a
of
killer,
people
dude.
died that week, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, seven.
Lots of people.
What's the odds of
That
everyone
within
hanging
one-
themselves off a doorknob?
Within one
not
degree
a
of separation from Clinton
How's his
camp,
wife?
7 that week. Crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Anybody else, Ben?
Yeah, actually, we have an update about the shooting victims when you said for look up. Bang Biscuit says, I just looked up one of the victims of the newspaper shooting on Twitter named Robert Hiasan. He must be a cousin of yours, Ben. As far as I can tell, he has no Twitter account. You'd think being the editor of a newspaper, he would have a Twitter account.
Same thing we found in the Santa Monica shit, guy. Good job. Thank you for letting us know that. So,
One thing I hate about Santa
Are
Monica
you
is
un-
all the
Goddamn vampires.
is he unpersoned? Was it all bullshit to start with? Are these, you know, names that they can drop so people, it makes it more human to the reader, you know? And again, they passed away and they did die. Obviously, we're not going to go in on them and be like, it was their fault or anything like that. But at the same time, if we're trying to go down this trail to do simple research while we're here at a fucking wrestling show on Twitch Live and we can't find that information and they're in the media,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I supposed to think? You know?
I got one here from my wife, actually.
Go ahead.
She's not watching, by the way. She would if she knew the link. But basically, did you know chickens were purposely given arsenic to control parasites up until 2016? So all commercial chickens and eggs we consume are laced with arsenic. And dairy contains fake hormones and added estrogen, which increases cancer rates.
HTCs.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
you don't get any of those ingredients in Dippin' Donuts.
No,
so
no.
Go get Dippin' Donuts.
No.
And Dippin' Donuts does not freeze their donuts before they serve them to you.
and arsenic builds up in you over time.
Right.
It's not
It
something
will
you just
collect,
get
and
rid
then
of.
you will eventually get sicker and
That's the
die.
one, that's like the deal, like, kind of like how they showed off in The Sixth Sense, where the mom was keeping the daughter sick and just
Right,
slowly
just
killing
enough
her.
arsenic.
It's slow kill all the way around, you know, and
Population control was
Yeah.
under 21.
all that.
Today's
and
kind of
at
slow
least-
kill,
Yeah.
dealing with creative.
Oh, I thought is that Sasquatch in the ring?
Yeah, Sasquatch is in the ring.
Sasquatch
And
is in
slow
the ring.
kill
Oh,
is
he's
not.
doing his entrance. He is doing his Aunt Randy
Oh my
Orton.
fucking god.
Nobody else is in the ring.
There's no one in the ring. He did 2 knee drags.
I thought he was loosening up his shoulders.
Yeah, he did 2 knee drags, and then he did his Randy Orton entrance.
Can I just say, Mark,
Wants a hands on that. He
Mark.
wants to see if anybody
Pop it
noticed.
up.
Yeah, it's Sasquatch.
Hey, Sasquatch! The ring is for wrestlers! Get out! Back to the
and
regularly scheduled program.
okay, Paul Arzola says, I've always wondered about the whole Beverly Oliver thing in the JFK assassination.
Wait, Beverly Oliver? What the
Beverly Oliver.
Is she the one, the blonde who got snuffed, or no?
I don't know.
There's a lot of people that died that first year.
46 people
Yeah.
connected
First
with it.
year.
Really?
Not 2 years.
Holy cow.
So between them and the NASA scientists, which was 87 in under 2 years.
Yeah.
And then how many people with the claims is it's reaching like allegedly almost 200.
Yeah, but the
Since
ones
the-
that can be close within 1 degree is like 59, 60.
I think it was going 66.
Well, after
Order
this past
66?
week.
Order 66, the Clintons. Yes.
So, I mean, there's possibility ones, but ones within 1 degree of separation, like a Seth Rich or whatever, we're in the 60s
So
now.
what is 67?
Ask him, can you
Well,
elaborate a
there's
little
like
bit more? I'm not
67
really
more
familiar.
people than we
Who's
know.
Beverly?
62 anyway.
Was
Oh,
that his girlfriend, the shooter's girlfriend, the alleged shooter's girlfriend?
Paul
Oswald?
said that she's still
That's
alive.
Marina was the wife.
Oh.
She had a girlfriend
He
too.
had a girlfriend. Lee Harvey Oswald's girlfriend.
I'm not familiar with her name off the top of my
Yeah.
head. I probably would know where she fits in.
Well,
Once
listen,
again, hey, that's another thing. Jack Ruby was so heartbroken, and he didn't want Jackie to go through the trial. That's why he killed her. I mean, come on. And then he died of a fast-acting cancer.
Fast acting.
No,
No end of a bullet.
That's a load of
No,
crap.
that was the whole thing they talked
The
about.
ice bullet, right?
In Texas, they were creating a fast-acting cancer to try to kill Castro. They're trying to, dude, we wasted so much time and energy and money trying to kill that guy for like 25, 30 years. And then we just did an embargo.
Good,
Like in
right.
the end.
Yeah, it was done.
So.
the
Paul,
one thing about JFK though, for sure, that we all know is that Lee Harvey Oswald did not shoot JFK.
Yeah, you can go back to November, check out our show on that once the FOIA papers came out that way. So, that's a thing we could do 2 months on just to break down every aspect of it. But please let me know more about her. Hit us up, conspiracyhorseman@gmail.com. And
What was the name of Olivia Newton-John?
was it Beverly?
Beverly Oliver.
Oh.
Beverly Oliver.
I guess she lived in the same town with Paul in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Triple H? What's up, Uncle Paul?
Uncle Paul.
Paul McCartney.
He can't listen, Pop. Paul has no stroke in WWE. I'm sorry, brother.
He knows the history though. So, but thanks, Paul. But definitely send me some information at our Gmail, man. I'd like to look more into it. Anybody else there, bud?
No really questions. Just Theory Girl was happy to
What's
see
up, Theory Girl?
There you
all
go.
4 horsemen together.
Yeah. Happy to see you, Lisa. You're kicking ass.
Yeah.
You know, we're super proud of you on Stevie Richards Fitness and
12-week
you
resistant
know,
band program, one of the greatest things out there.
Looking phenomenal, girl.
Actually, and we're up to 25 viewers.
Wow, cool.
So we started at. Well, when I first started
We've already
asking
tripled
questions.
the fucking crowd outside.
Sasquatch is on
Not
that
the
show.
number of matches. We only have 1/3 of the
Yeah,
matches.
yeah, 1/3 of the matches, but triple.
Listen,
number.
tonight we're getting 99% of the gate and we're taking over the book, so don't worry about it.
We still have barely enough to cover Little Caesars.
Anything else you guys want to close with while we're together?
Lisa was actually a part of a really great episode on
Yeah.
because she's a musician and part of a lot of symbolism in music especially, and that's
Just like in
something
the
we have to
WWE.
revisit soon. Yeah, well,
What was the symbolism in the you saw this week? Actually, we were watching
Chaos.
Sanity.
Thought about it.
Sanity came out in their second week, and Sal tuned in to Smack. He goes, "Holy shit! There's a lot of chaos symbols right,
Right.
here."
So the chaos symbol I saw no less than 7 times thrown out at the WWE show.
Yeah.
In the 15 minutes I watched.
which is amazing because it's such a boring structured program.
Yes, yeah.
We're
It's the
begging for the
absolute
chaos
opposite
theory, right?
of chaos.
You know, 15 minus 7 is 9. You turn it upside down, it's a 6. So
Well,
there you
9's a
go.
magical number anyway. That's
Yeah,
that's
everything's
a
a
prime
prime
magic
number, yeah.
15 minus 7 is 8.
What?
15 minus 7 is 8.
No.
Mind blown.
15 minus 7 is 8, yes. That's
His
what I
wife's
said.
Asian.
Oh, that's right, she does
Think
long
he doesn't
division.
know math? He knows
Oh
math.
wow.
But yeah, a lot, guys. We appreciate you coming along with us, all four. We're happy. It's been a great weekend for
Thanks
us.
for giving us your Saturday for a little bit.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I know you got plenty of other stuff to do.
We went.
We actually just looked at the card, and Papadon and I are not wrestling at all. So that was.
It doesn't mean they won't be out there 12 times, but they are not wrestling.
They flew in Stevie, paid him $1 million not to wrestle.
Not
The
to
greatest
wrestle
wrestler.
tonight.
Oh, wait a minute.
Greatest
We
worker
got.
in the room.
Hold on. We got. This would be the last. To be a good question to end on.
Okay.
What's going on tonight?
All right.
What is the match?
Who's over?
Dear God, I don't even want to get involved with it.
What's the question?
Who would win a shoot fight promo? Stevie
Fight promo?
or Papadon?
I buried that fucking cockroach.
Here we go.
Wow.
No, see, Stevie and I were actually very close. We're very good friends.
We worked out this morning.
We worked out together. Yeah, everyone was admiring our physiques in the gym. No sword fighting. I'm not that great.
You
Thank
said
you.
you were close. I walked into the locker room. I saw you guys. Stevie's walking around with a towel, flipping his head around, conditioning his hair and shit.
And I heard Dream
It's
Weaver
on
playing in the
Instagram
background.
stories.
There was a fan blowing his hair. I didn't understand, but whatever.
Okay. Also, another thing. Can we see a live Master Shoot Theater?
Yeah, let's do it right now. Maybe the B team can be on this one.
Saving that for Patreon.
There you go.
Yeah,
Ready to
Paige,
get big league.
we're gonna
We just
do-
got big league.
We're gonna do.
Twitch just got big league.
Preview what because we came up with it in the car.
God damn it!
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Somebody sent us they wanted a Master Shoot Theater because the one indie show had a fire and Evolve, and the crowd started chanting "Burn it down." So they wanted a Master Shoot if that happened in a WWE event. What would Vince do at that time while the fire department was trying to put out the fire in that time? So
Okay, can I start it?
who are you gonna be?
Vince.
All right,
That's all I can do.
Vince, go ahead.
God damn it! That's how you get some heat.
Sir,
Here's your Ponza.
The other one I had was that the fire alarm goes off, the fans are chanting "Burn it down," and we played the two firefighters to come to put the fire out, and we're like normal people watching this.
Trying to figure out what's happening.
figure out why these people are not evacuating.
How come nobody's leaving? No one's leaving the
And
arena.
then my other thing
They're
was
in
like,
danger.
where are all the girls? Is there any girls in this crowd?
So tune into Realm Network this week on Russo Brand. We'll have some good Massachusetts theaters, plus new exclusive content. We're trying to actually, as soon as they go home and we can get back in the studios, and Stevie will edit that. We're going to start putting together the bigger Master Shoot Theater extended show, 30 to 40 minutes. Be probably exclusive content as well, you guys.
That's
So
like a 33rd degree
No,
master shoot.
yeah,
theater.
33rd degree Master
Just
Shoot
let
Theater.
people know, like with the whole show and everything, it's not paywall stuff. It's
No.
just this is kind of stuff to help us produce this content, to edit, to have equipment, and the hosting stuff, and it's literally going to be the tiers aren't going to be the same as other Patreons. It's not
Yeah.
going to be like that.
No, absolutely, because we've seen that model before. We don't want to just juice you guys and give you great content, which people hitting us up too. They're like, "Holy shit, I've got 3 podcasts on Friday from hackerhameen.podbean.com to get through now. You guys are just producing a ton." And I do want to say that not just these guys doing great things for the platform that way and giving you guys great content. Billy Ray Valentine, Big Ray, Andrew Bello, the Wednesday Locker Room guys, Steve King, Jargo, Vickery, I know Crow 777. I know I'm forgetting some of the weekend guys with a throwback, Travis Volts and that whole crew, man. Big Ray, who was doing great on Sea Urchins Fitness. It's all these guys with all hands on deck. Everyone has.
Billy Ray?
Yep, they've all grabbed a piece of it, ran with it. I did say Crow 777 and Billy Ray, and everyone's giving you guys great free content. So we don't want to put up a paywall and be like, "Oh, you've gotten all this shit for free, now you're gonna fucking pay for it." This stuff is above and beyond what it takes to produce, and it seems to be what you guys want. Yeah, Bella's doing good on NXT Monday Locker Room with Vickery, Jargo. So. Jango Fett, sorry the way things ended for you, bro. But, these are going to be a couple extra shows. If you want to buy them, you want to be a part of the Patreon, I know you guys are super loyal, especially twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horsemen crew are. We're going to keep producing more for you guys. You don't even need to go watch fucking bullshit TV shows. You got all this right
We
here.
were actually thinking about on the Twitch channel
You got
too.
this
Start
bullshit
putting up
TV show to watch.
What?
So you got this bullshit TV show. Go ahead.
Listen, we're the flagship show because we're the draw 99% of the game. Anyway, no.
Flagship show.
Point being is this: we were actually talking about or we might even do our own shows on the Twitch channel through Ben's network too.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about maybe doing a Star Wars show or a movie review show.
Nobody watching.
Everybody watch it. Come on, Greeks reviewing.
Sally's
We
gonna
made
do.
movies.
Sally's gonna do some horror stuff if you're into crazy horror
watch
flicks and all that kind of stuff.
No, nobody will watch, but I don't care. It's for me. It's my therapy.
Yeah.
I need
So
Stevie wanted to do a tech review show.
and that went really well with.
Did
Yeah,
you
a lot
not
of
say you
people
wanted to
really
do
liked
a
it.
The
review?
fitness one.
A lot of people
Oh,
like the
fitness
Halo,
review.
the
Tech
Halo
review, fitness
review you did, man. That was, people were really into it. So bonus content that'll somewhat be for free. Keep pushing on Twitch. We're coming at you every channel that we can possibly get on you guys. So appreciate you. Anybody else got anything else they want to put out
It's
there?
amazing we're not on drugs.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Let me
you're
just,
right.
let me just say that
As opposed
it
to
is an absolute honor to have you guys here, all four of you guys here at Dynasty, because, you guys have helped me, myself, get through a lot of stuff, because I'm going through some stuff right now, and listening to you guys, hanging out with you guys has really, really helped me out. So I gotta say,
Yeah.
thank you.
Listen,
you.
Triple D, you're the fifth horseman, so don't worry about it.
Y'all, guys.
And this guy, Abe Pash, he wants me to put him over, so Abe, you're over.
Abe,
Okay.
you're over. You're always the first one in the chat
Yeah.
room, man.
Fuck yeah, Abe.
Always, dude. So
Now send us money. What are your money?
That's right to say first now. He's been first for so long.
so long. Just hit stop on that, D. But
You got it.
we'll see you guys soon enough, y'all.
Thanks, y'all.